either way,
Yeah.
that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But Ken, I hope that helped, my brain. I'm always available one-on-one if you want to chat more. And you know me, I'm here for you.
Oh yeah, bro.
Latest news. Let's get into it. All right. So we've got our friends at Blur, and the fourth collection that they now allowing you to borrow against is DeGods. Look, when they said a fourth collection was coming, for me,
Wait,
it was pretty obvious.
wait. Hold on. What did you say? DeGods is dropping another collection?
No, 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 no. Remember Blur? We spoke about it last week. That Blur is allowing you to lend
Oh,
on
right.
Blend in order to purchase. So they only allowed you to do that with three collections.
Yeah.
I think it was Punks, Miladies, and Azuki. So now they've added, Blur has added a fourth collection where you can borrow against. So if you own a DGOD, you'll be able to borrow money on Blur, and you'll also be able to pay a percentage and buy a DGOD and pay it off to Blur at a crazy interest rate, right?
Dude, I'm still trying to like wrap my head around this whole thing because I'm just like, bro, the degenerate-ist part of NFTs, and now we're adding another layer and
Yeah,
fractionalizing that layer until you can buy a little bit of this now. And I'm like, bro, you're
and you
buying a
can
part of a
buy it on credit.
part of a
Yeah.
JPEG, bro. Like, has anyone done this? Has anyone in the chat? If anyone does it, Spaces or YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're at, any of y'all actually attempted this? Because like, I'm not trying to buy an NFT that's expensive at this point in the market. At least not yet until
Look,
I feel comfortable trading. But like,
in
geez,
general, Kate, in general, my rule, and you know me, I've got my investment thesis and whatever. My rule has always been, if I can't afford to buy something cash, don't do it. That's always been my thing. Absolutely always. Now, that doesn't mean that when I bought my first car, I bought it cash. I decided to take a loan because I needed the cash for other stuff, but I did have that amount of cash available, but I didn't buy it in cash. Does that make sense?
yeah, it does.
So I've always said that. So if I don't have 8 ETH available to me in general, it is sitting around that I don't need for rent and whatever, then I would not be buying a DGOT on credit.
Mm,
Right? If I've got 8 ETH plus another 800 ETH that's sitting in gold and shares and whatever, then maybe there's value to it. But I wouldn't buy it on credit then. I would buy it outright because I don't want to be paying interest on it, especially at these crazy rates. But what is bullish about this in general is that, I come from South Africa, as you know, Kate, and I think most of the viewers, but in the end of the day here, there's a huge income disparity. There's a very poor and then there's the very wealthy. Obviously, there's the middle class as well, but there's a huge difference there. And here, you can buy anything on credit.
yeah.
So, for people that can't afford, so you can literally go and buy a kettle and pay it off over 12 months. Do you
Wow.
call it a kettle there as well? Like the thing you do warm water with a kettle, right? Yeah, or microwave, or so daily stuff because people don't have the $10 or the $15. Now, I'm not saying everyone, I'm saying the very lower class. So, if you walk into lower level furniture shops, yeah, everything can be bought on credit. And a
Right.
lot of it can be bought on what's called lay-by, where you come in every month to pay, but you never actually take it with you until you've paid the full amount. But it's guaranteed to be yours. So the shop keeps it for you until you've paid it off. So we do see that, in my market at least. I mean, in South Africa, we see that a lot in almost every industry. So for me, in a way, it's sort of bullish because it's sort of like, okay, NFTs are maturing into what I perceive as a normal market. Do I believe that that's healthy to buy something that you can't afford? No, I definitely don't. And I would highly tell anyone as financial advice, absolutely not to buy something that they can't afford, especially a risky digital asset. However, I do think seeing these different ways of doing things is very interesting to see in Web3. It means we're maturing as an industry. And some of it will work and some of it won't, but at least people are trying things. And I think
What
overall it's a positive thing.
like what happens if DeGods collapses 50% overnight? They're still paying full price, So it's like that's the high risk for me. The one play I will say that
Yeah.
could make sense. Like I was listening to a Spaces that Thread guy was talking on when he bought his Mutant Ape. And he like basically bought that as a branding play, which was a great move by him because he's blown that. He's probably arguably him and NFT God are probably the reason that Mutant Apes have the reputation they do online as content creators. Because they're so active. Well, I guess NFT God's not as much anymore, but they're so active on Twitter with information that people deem valuable, and they do their part in the space. And that was a great move. And like, imagine if more people have been able to do that, because I'm sure he spent I don't know how many ETH, tons of ETH on it. And if this was available at that time and he was already going to make that play anyway, and it looks like he had the liquidity, that might be the best play ever, because now you've got your liquid still on the side. You can always bail yourself out if you end up not wanting to buy it or whatever. But that could be a move, like in that aspect, if you're trying to build a brand and you're like, I don't quite have enough to buy this, but I know this is the piece for me. If it truly is, and you've weighed out that risk, that could be a play, dude. Like, I'd be interested. I also saw on that photo, if you go back to the tweet about the Blur and the DeGods thing, there was the top comment, and also the caption was talking about insider trading on Blur. So it looks like this seems to be just public knowledge, the fact that Blur is just doing whatever they want. I also have seen and noticed this, I don't know if you have as well, that Blur has started to kind of get shit on as far as their branding. Like, they're still number one each time I look in the charts, but every time I hear Blur, I'm hearing, one extra voice now that's like, fuck Blur. They're terrible for the space. I'm hearing this over and over and over again, whereas I used to hear a lot more positive sentiment on it. No, so I
check this first comment. But anyway, just what you're saying. That's the top comment. Yeah, I am looking for the one that you were talking about. I just wanted to show you that because
that is fucking funny, bro. Guys, if y'all are in spaces, the top comment is "fuck you." This new collection coming to blend, and then Journey Crypt right below with the laughing emojis. Yeah, it was a photo of DeGods. Yeah, there it is, and the caption is, oh wait, no, hold on, maybe click the photo. It was there. It is. Nice insider trading, and like the first comment on there, under it was tweeted 8 minutes ago. Sales spike 15 minutes ago. Love to see the advantages in plain sight. So yeah, it doesn't even look like they're hiding it. The good thing is, not the good thing. The thing I think that they realize, that Blur, if this is indeed them knowing this and continuing to do it, is that they know how much it just doesn't matter. Like, people will just forget, or they're just not going to hear about it, or they don't care that much, or someone will make a bigger issue or a bigger mistake in a couple days, and then they will have the limelight for another 10 or 12 hours before people move on to the next thing. But I think companies who kind of realize this will start to play that game in the same way that influencers did in the quote Web 2 world. They'll make a mistake. They realize they're going to get canceled. They're fine with that, because 4 weeks later, they'll just make another video and they'll move on with their life. And in a year, it won't even matter. I think that information and that realization is going to start to infect itself in a lot of different industries. Because
the one thing that I'm seeing that's really good is that they're gone are the days of any collection being able to launch and do well. People are, because everyone left is like really knowledgeable on the space. Unless there's a real great value offering, collections are not minting out, not even coming close to minting out, even if they're free. People aren't interested anymore, and that's why we're starting to see the ones that are standing out are the ones that are actually building companies underneath the PFP. PFP is just a sort of membership card to the company. They're getting proper income streams. They're doing real IP brand deals. They're getting their products in stores, like that V-Friend toy that you showed us. We've seen the same with Pudgy Penguins. They're building out real games. They're building real things that a normal Web2 company would do. And to be a part of that club or get first access to certain things or extra benefits, you have to have the PFP. And that's really what I was trying to say in the beginning when you asked that question. That's what the future of it is. It's no longer just I'm an NFT project. That's a novelty. Buy my thing. It's now I'm a great company. And you know what? If you want to show that you're a part of it and have extra benefits and be a first mover there, here's a way you can do that. Buy this NFT, hold it, and you'll be able to then get first access to this unique merch or whatever. But when I say unique merch, I mean unique merch by Nike or Adidas, companies that are already known for good quality merch, not some random project that's dropping T-shirts. No one cares anymore. Whereas, a year ago, everyone did. And I think that's healthy.
Yep.
I think the days when any collection with non-docs founders and no roadmap and no future hope of doing well were minting out in 5 seconds, that's not healthy and wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
So in a way, this